Monday night sales mastery, dog. Here we are. Monday night sales mastery. This is our time, man. Once again, we at it again, time and time again. Now, we used to do Monday night sales mastery every Monday night, and that got to be untenable. So now we do it at once a month on the first Monday of each calendar month. It's now 9 p.m. I'm going to set my timer and we're going to get it in. Let's see. Set my timer here. Oh, wrong place. All right, Monday night sales mastery. Here we go. All right, we're going to go for 30 minutes tonight. And tonight, the topic is getting the help that you need to rock your business, getting the help you need to rock your entrepreneurial business. I'm going to start off tonight, tell you a tale. Now, just sit right back and you hear a tale of a fateful trip. Here we go. This young man had watched his dad build an amazing ministry, an amazing church. It was Joel Osteen. His dad built an amazing church, and he saw his dad build an amazing church. And as Joel got to working age of watching his dad, he took on some jobs for the church. And his job was to handle the audio visual and the lighting, to manage all of that for their large church. And he took his job seriously and he was good at his job. It was a full-time job basically, to take care of all the lighting because it was a large church and had a lot of capacity. His dad passed away unexpectedly and he was thrust in the role of he's going to have to take over for his dad. He's going to have to be the new pastor of this mega church, this big church. And he went through those days and was wondering if he could do it. So he summoned up his courage. He decided to do it. He's going to do it. And he poured himself into the job. He was pastoring this big church. And he was also kind of running things, making sure the people that took over the lights for him, they were doing it right. He was also overseeing the church's finances. He was overseeing a lot of things. He had his hands in a lot of things, and it wasn't going well until he got some great advice. And the great advice he got was to stop doing, because he had a television ministry too. So he had to prepare all of this stuff and be prepared for his television ministry. It was 30 minutes of airtime with 22 minutes of him actually preaching, 22 minutes of him preaching or saying something live on camera. So the great advice he got was to not do anything but to focus on those 22 minutes. You focus only on those 22 minutes on Sunday. Let someone else handle everything else. And he went through a growing pain of having to let that go and let someone else handle everything else. But once he did, let that go. Once he did focus on his 22 minutes, his key thing that only he could do, the preaching, that 22-minute sermon that he was to give on Sundays, he let everything else go and he only focused on preparing a great sermon and delivering a great sermon on that Sunday. And what happened? His ministry skyrocketed. They brought in money, they got viewers, they got members, they skyrocketed when he stopped trying to do everything and only focused on the 22 minutes, the key things, the first things first, the most important thing. Now, my name is Brian McNeil. For those of you who don't know me, I've been a sales coach and a sales trainer for 28 years now. I've helped people to sell better all over the world. Really, I have. I've written 4 great books on the topic. But tonight, you're not here to discover how great I am. You're here to talk about getting the help that you need. Now, for many years, I defined the role of an entrepreneur. There's a lot of things you do. And I'm talking particularly about you entrepreneurs that provide a service. If you provide an intangible service, coaching, consulting, financial services, real estate, lawn care maintenance, massage therapy, anything that's not an actual in your hand product, but you're in business, a service that you offer, particularly you. There's some stuff that you got to do to make it work. I used to define it this way: just prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, delivering, and studying. Those are the six things that actually earn you money. Everything else is preparing you to earn money. Prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, delivering, and studying. Okay, that's it. Those are the things that earn you money. Everything else is just preparing you. And for years, I have preached and teached that you need to do all those things to be a successful entrepreneur. And that was wrong. That might have been the case in years gone by, but that is not the case today. You, amazing entrepreneur, cannot do all those things because even that is not all that you have to do today. You have to do more than that to be successful in business today. Today, you also have to do your social media management. That's a big thing. Social media management today, as an entrepreneur, you gotta do it and you can't get away from it. You also have to do your social media marketing. Marketing, social media marketing, you cannot get away with it. You also have to manage your money and getting paid, and making sure people pay you what they owe you when they owe you. This year is Dr. Deborah Johnson. She found us. So not only do you have to prospect, this is present, close, follow up, study, and deliver. Not only do you have to do those six things, you also have to do social media marketing today, social media management today. You also have to take care of your legal protection. Today, you must protect your intellectual property, the stuff that came uniquely from you. You got to protect your stuff. So you still have to do that also. Is that it? No, that's not all you have to do today. You still got to do more than that stuff too. You still also today have to not only do that social media management, you also have to maintain your YouTube, maintain your Twitter, and maintain your LinkedIn as well as your Facebook. All of these things must be done to make sure your engine runs. Is that it? No, that's not all you still have to do. You also have to do your CRM, your client retention management system, whether you're using any of them. There's a ton of them. Some kind of way to track your clients. You have to do that too, right? Is that everything? That's about it. Now, if you did all of those things by yourself, how good are you going to be at any one of those things? I submit that most entrepreneurs today, more than 90% of them, and that's what's called a swag, a scientific wild ass guess. Most of them attempt, I would say well over 90% of them attempt to do all of those things that they must do to build a business themselves. I am going to say to you tonight boldly that if you're doing all of those things by yourself, you are doing it the wrong way. Today, you simply cannot get around it. We need help. You need help. And how do you get help? How do you get help? Well, one is you could ask somebody, hey, could you help me build my business? Will that work? There's this thing called GMP, Greatest Management Principle, which means whatever gets rewarded gets done. The greatest management principle, whatever gets rewarded gets done. And the way you can reward help is to pay for it. Is to pay for it. Can you pay for someone? Can you hire someone that will do your social media management for you? Can you hire someone that'll do your social media marketing for you? Because if you did hire someone to do that, that would free you up so that you don't have to do that, right? Very quick story. There's a very successful lawyer in town. He's got a wife and he's got kids, and he's doing really, really well. So, but when it came time to paint his house, he decided to save some money and paint his house himself. And he did it at night, did it on the weekends, and he did it when he had free time. That same very successful lawyer, he decided to save some money when his oil change needed to be done on his car. He did it himself. He knows how to change oil. He don't have to pay anybody to do that. So he did his own oil change. He also bought himself a really, really nice lawnmower. So on the weekends, he also cut his own grass. This very successful lawyer. So to save money, he painted his own house. To save money, he changed his own oil. To save money, he cut his own grass. And eventually, his wife had to go get a part-time job to help make ends meet. You're not saving money by trying to do it all on your own. You're going to have to do this. One of my friends, Miss Shauna Smith, she taught me some things. She's been in business for 14 years. And from the very beginning of her business, she's hired VAs, virtual assistants. She discovered, and this is just a plain hard truth, that her dollars went much farther overseas. Her dollars went farther overseas. So she found a lady from a Latin American country that could work with her, that they could develop a rapport together. She looked for virtual assistants and she found one. And that virtual assistant became her business partner, is what happened. She's also very excited that some parts of Africa, she's able to get virtual assistants there too, because her dollars that she would spend on a virtual assistant goes farther outside of the United States. I am not telling you not to use an American virtual assistant. An American virtual assistant be fine, okay? Because that whatever work they do for you is work that you don't have to do for yourself, right? Whatever thing they do for you, if they manage your social media for you and you just pay them to do that, that frees you up for your key 22 minutes of your business life. We must use help. Some of the best advice I ever got is two things. I'm gonna tell it to you now, especially if you're an entrepreneur. And it took me a long time to learn this. I was in business 20 years before I learned this information I'm about to tell you. Maybe 25 years before I learned what I'm about to tell you. These two rules. Rule number one is be willing to ask for more help. Be willing to ask for more help. And rule number two is be willing to accept more help. Be willing to ask for more and be willing to accept more. And I'm going to add a third one, be willing to pay for the help that you want. Now, think about how much do you earn each time you gain a new client? One client. How much is that client worth to you? Whatever that client is worth to you, you can easily divide out the hours that it took to get that client and determine how much that client was worth per hour. Let's say, for example, a new client to you is worth $1,000 and it took you 5 hours over some weeks to get them. That $1,000 client that took you 5 hours of working on that client, each hour was worth $200. Each hour was worth $200 of your time. If you hired someone and you paid them $25 to do the follow-up and the touching of them again, you paid them $25, that frees you up. That's $25 out of $200 that you earn. That's net profit. How many times would you be willing to pay $25 to get $175? I would do it all day, every day. You are going to have to get some help. Now, and think about that too. Whatever money that your virtual assistant costs you, is there going to be a return on investment? It won't take that long for you to determine. I've heard good counsel say to me, you should find your virtual assistant and work with that virtual assistant, that one, a minimum of 3 months, unless they don't have integrity. If they have integrity, if they're trying to work with them 3 months before you make an evaluation. if they're willing to do the work and they're trying to do the work, because in the beginning it's going to be rocky. In the beginning, because you got to teach them what you want. They got to learn how what you want. And if you stay with them for 3 months, they get to be intuitive and they can anticipate some of the things you want. Like my virtual assistant, I forgot to do some stuff earlier today, but she's been with my wife and I for a long time, so she knew on Mondays, the first Monday of the month, what I'm supposed to do. So she reached out to me and said, "Can we do this, this, and this?" And then, bing! Oh yes, we got to do this, this, and this because it's the first Monday of the month. The first Monday of the month is a very important day for me and my business because the first Monday of the month I use as goal setting for that month. Whatever the first Monday is, if it falls on the first or the seventh or any day in between, the first Monday of the month is designed to set your goals for that month. That's how I use the first Monday. And whatever you say on that first Monday, that's what you're trying to get done. So if you want to gain 4 more clients this calendar month, okay, that's easy. I got to get 1 more client a week, but you set those goals on the first Monday of each calendar month. If you want 40, whatever it is, you set that goal on the first Monday of the calendar month. Those of you who are on here right now, that's at 9:15. This broadcast ends at 9:30. If you've not yet set your monthly goals for this month, no problem, because we'll be done at 9:30. And you could take your 20 minutes, your 15 minutes, your 30 minutes to you can take your 5 minutes to set your goals for this calendar month. Quickly, let me tell you the story about Howard Hill. Howard Hill was an archer. He was an amazing archer. He was the greatest archer of his time. He could take an arrow from his quiver from 50 feet, go dead bullseye on a target. And then he could take the next arrow and split the first. An amazing feat of skill and accuracy. But me, because I'm such an amazing sales coach, I could teach you how to hit that bullseye target with a bow and arrow better than Archer Hill could on his very best day. Yes, I could teach you how. You can hit it better than him, and I can teach you how to do it within minutes. Provided, of course, we blindfolded Howard Hill. See, if we blindfolded him, and then if we spun him around enough times so he wouldn't know which direction the target was, and then we had the contest. Okay. Now, that, of course, that's silly. How can he hit a target where he doesn't know where the target is or what direction? How can he hit a target that he can't see? Aha. If you don't have targets for this calendar month, how are you possibly going to hit them? You're working just like Howard Hill, you're working vague and nebulous. Sometimes entrepreneurs, their sole goal is to earn enough money to pay their bills. And I'm going to say to you right now, that is not a big enough goal. It's not big enough. You want to set some targets that are higher than what you normally do, something that will cause your brain to reach, and something specific, the number of sales you want to make or the amount of money that you want to bring in that calendar month. You got to set that target. You get to set that target yourself. And then you got to get some help to do it. No one, not you, not anyone else. No one has lived on this earth long enough, and no one has enough experience, and no one has enough education by themselves to build a great business or a great company or great art without any help or mentorship. We all need help. We all need coaching, consulting, or mentorship. Yes, you can. Someone that you can be their mentee, someone that will mentor you. Do you have a mentor? Do you have a coach? Do you have an assistant? Do you have anybody on your team? Your business will rise when you get a team. You all need a team. Yes, you too. So it's now 9:18. I've been talking for 18 minutes. I got started right away. Has anyone already found value tonight? Put in the comments #value if you've already found value in something that I said tonight. I've tried to hire virtual assistants before and it doesn't work for me. I find that when I hire an assistant, I have to teach them what to do and then they mess it up and then I have to redo it again. I too have had that experience with virtual assistants. It's worth staying in the game. I'm gonna ask you a question. Was J. Paul Getty right? John Paul Getty, was he right? Getty at one time was one of the richest men on the planet, one of the richest men on earth. not just the United States, one of the richest men on the planet. And he had this statement he said, I'd rather have 1% effort from 100 men versus 100% effort from one man. Was he right? Even if you just got 1% effort from a lot of people, is that better than getting 100% effort from one person? I think he was right. Do you believe that J. Paul Getty was right? What's happening, Sister Keisha? How you doing? You've been hanging out on my stuff lately, girl. We got to be helpful to you. Getty was right. You do need an assistant. I am encouraging you to hire one. There's a great book on sales called Walk Like a Giant, Sell Like a Madman. It's a real estate book. And chapter 4 of that book, I believe, the whole chapter is on using assistants. Now, this book is a book that was written in the 90s. This is before social media and stuff we had right here. But that book has one line in it that's kind of stuck with me. And he says, if you do not have a great assistant, that means that you are one. Ooh, if you don't have a great assistant, that means you are a great assistant for yourself. Are you a coach? Are you a consultant? Or are you an assistant? Are you a massage therapist? Do you have a service to offer the world? Do you have products to offer the world with no help? That means you are an assistant in your own business. Is that harsh? Is that true? Do you want to get out of that game? I can nary imagine any business that would not be greatly improved if they got more help to make that happen. It's got 10 minutes to go. I want to tell you this real quick about people who achieve outstandings of levels of success in any endeavor. I am a fan of, I'm a speaker as well, but I like to listen to other great speeches, or even if they're not great speeches. I like to listen to speeches. And I'm such a nerd. I'm such a nerd. I like to read about great speeches from history. I got a book of the 100 great speeches in history, and it kind of intrigues me to read what these great speeches, what the content of the great speech was. And it's amazing to me. I love them very much so. Okay. But where was I going? Great speech. Okay. Oh, oh my gosh. It was an amazing point I was about to make too. Okay. That's why I slipped my mind. But it'll come back to me if I keep talking. And that just proves I am human too. I'm only human, flesh and blood. Oh man. Okay, where was I? I don't remember. So I'm gonna just keep going. Well, I don't remember where I was going. Maybe one of you guys can help me. Where was I going talking about great speeches when it comes to getting help? I don't remember. So anyway, tonight we talked about how to get the help that you need. I am going to encourage you to find, because they're everywhere, virtual assistants and interview them. Some companies hire people overseas. You can Google search. You can search for virtual assistants, period, and then you'll get a bunch of them. And it's a worthy endeavor for you to interview them. Now, I suggest you interview them and ask them what kind of things that they do for you. Can do for you, because there are some virtual assistants that specialize in certain areas of business. They are, most of them are what I call, um, this is a business term, maliciously obedient. They're going to do exactly what you say do and nothing else. Maliciously obedient. If you tell them, I need you to find me 100 coaches, their names, their email addresses, their phone numbers, and their websites for me, and they'll do it. They'll go ahead and compile a list of what you want, and then they'll give it to you, and you just pay for them by the hour. Some of them are $10 an hour, some of them are $6 an hour, some of them you work by a minimum of 20 hours, but you'll find a lot of different things, a lot of different ways, and you can easily make it work. I've hired them a lot of different times over the years. One time I spent $27 and got everything I needed. One time I spent like $36 and got way more than what I needed. But you have to invest in yourself. The common laws of business keep this from happening. You cannot get a lot out of something that you won't put something in. Your business, you're going to have to put some money in. You're going to have to put some money into your own personal development. You're going to have to put some money into your business development in. If you're not willing to put any money into your business, if you staunchly refuse to put any money into your business is going to, your subconscious mind and your business, they're going to reward you in direct proportion to how much you're willing to put your money where your mouth is. If you won't put any money in your business, you're teaching your subconscious mind that your business is not worth investing in. That's what you're reinforcing. If you're not willing to put 20, 30, $50 into your business, $100 into your business, you're teaching your subconscious mind that your business is not worth investing in. Let me tell you about your subconscious mind real quick. What actually happens and what you imagine happening are so close that they're negligible. And I can prove it to you. There are lots of different ways to prove it to you. There's one study, there was a study done on free throw shooting. They took college kids, they took 30 college kids in one group, 30 college kids, another group, 30 college kids, another group. The first group, they had these 30 kids in a gym with a coach practicing free throws for 1 hour a day for 30 days. They had a coach guiding them on how to make a free throw, and they practiced for 1 hour a day for 30 days, these 30 kids. Okay, that's group one. The second group, these 30 kids, they weren't allowed to actually touch a basketball, but they were had to sit in a classroom and they went through a guided meditation of them imagining themselves making free throws. They just imagined themselves with a coach. They put them in a meditative state and they imagined themselves making free throws for 1 hour a day for 30 days. And the third group, the control group, they weren't allowed to touch a basketball. They just monitored, and that's it. At the end of the 30 days, they tested everybody again. The first group that did it with an actual ball in a gym with a coach had improved by 24%, 24% greater by practicing for 1 hour a day. The second group in the classroom with the meditation of imagining making it, they had improved by 23%, a 1% difference. And the third group, they had no improvement at all. But between the difference between what actually happened and what you imagined to happen was so negligible, your subconscious can't really tell the difference. That's why pornography is $1 billion industry. They're not actually touching anybody. Okay, they're watching it, and their subconscious mind is accepting it as it had happened. That's a bad example, but that's a real example as well. All right. I'm hope in the first 26 minutes that we talked today that you have learned. I hope I beat it into your head a little bit that you cannot do all your prospecting, all your presenting, all your closing, all your following up, all your delivering of what you have, and all your studying just yourself, plus your social media management, plus your social media marketing, plus managing your money and making sure you get paid, plus protecting your business and your legal and your intellectual property, plus your YouTube, your Twitter, your LinkedIn management, and your CRM, your client retention management system. Stop doing it by yourself. You can't. It's 9:27 now. My name is Brian McNeil. I offer some stuff too. If you haven't been on here before, I will offer you guys a free ebook. The ebook is called the 1, 2, 3 Formula. If you already have it, great. If you want to try, everything starts with a consultation with me, a one-on-one selling your services consultation. And I do that for free. It lasts 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I don't care. But we can schedule this up. So if you want a free consult, put that in the chat and I'll follow up with you. It's now 9:27. I appreciate you guys for honoring me with your presence. We do this now only once a month. We do this once a month, only on the first Monday night of each calendar month, and we do it for only 30 minutes. My goal is to give something that's immediately actionable. That means something that you can implement tomorrow. Hopefully, something you heard tonight that you can implement tomorrow. You can research on what it takes to get a virtual assistant. You can research a client retention management system, a CRM. You can do that. You can actually get one tomorrow. Yes, you can. And if you want my tips or some tips and people in your network on how to do that, I encourage you to do that. Woo! Okay, one more. I got a minute left to go. Today is November the 2nd, which means it's November 3rd Eve, which means it's election eve. If you haven't yet voted, please vote tomorrow. And if you don't vote tomorrow and your candidate doesn't win, don't say anything. Don't don't say anything because you gave up your right to be a part of the process. If you don't believe one vote matters, the great Bill Clinton once made this point. If you don't believe that one vote matters, run for office, run for any kind of office, then you will understand how one vote matters. If you don't believe one vote matters, why did it take such a hard fight for everyone to get the opportunity to vote? Why did it take so long to the 20s before women were allowed to vote? Why did it take before 1965 before black people were allowed to vote in this country? If you don't believe it matters, why are they trying to vote suppress right now? Why are they trying to make it difficult? Because voting matters. Voting changes things. This is a soapbox I'm on right now. I want you to vote. Please vote. If you haven't yet voted, please vote. Again, my name is Brian McNeil. Thank you for your time. I'll see you again on Monday Night Mastery this upcoming Wednesday. We do it now on the first and third Wednesday. We're going to have the Selling Your Services Academy. That's my online Selling Your Services school where we deep dive into how to sell yourself and your services. If you're interested in the academy, put in the comments selling your services or just put academy and I'll find you. You guys have a great rest of your night. Peace.